Hi my viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another interesting video. A video about Air Jamaica, the airline that changed Jamaica and the pride of the Jamaican people. So remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell on, and make Jamaica Vibes Entertainment TV a destination on your YouTube journey. Air Jamaica was the flag carrier of Jamaica. It was owned and operated by Caribbean Airlines from May 2011 until the cessation of operations in 2015. Caribbean Airlines Limited, headquartered in Piarco, Trinidad and Tobago, had administrative offices for Air Jamaica located at Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston, Jamaica. The Jamaican government was formerly the owner of Air Jamaica. It sold the airline to Caribbean Airlines in 2011, which resulted in the Jamaican government owning 16% of Caribbean Airlines. According to R.E.G. Davies in his Airlines of Latin America since 1919, the first incarnation of Air Jamaica was founded on August 27, 1963, after the government of Jamaica decided not to invest in British West Indian Airways. Dubbed Jamaica Air Service Limited, its shareholders were the Government of Jamaica, 51%, the British Overseas Airways Corporation, and BWIA, 16%. BWIA's employees in Jamaica were transferred to the new airline. Service to Miami and New York began on May 1, 1966. BOAC, Britain's major international airline at the time, and BWIA had continued to maintain the leased aircraft. This operating arrangement would not expire until the end of May 1969. The Jamaican government preferred a more independent approach and eventually prepared to establish a new company, Air Jamaica, 1968. Limited Air Jamaica was established in October 1968 and started operations on April 1, 1969, connecting Kingston and Montego Bay with New York, JFK, and Miami. At that time, the Jamaican government owned a substantial part of the airline, with Air Canada owning a minority share, 40%, and providing aircraft, 1 Douglas DC-8-61 and 3 McDonnell Douglas DC-9-30 jetliners, pilots, technical, maintenance and logistical help during the 1970s. Air Jamaica expanded rapidly. Flights were added to Toronto and Montreal in Canada, to Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport in San Juan, Puerto Rico, to Philadelphia and many other destinations, especially across the Caribbean. Long-haul services to Europe were started on April 1, 1974. Air Jamaica used a Douglas DC-8 and 3 DC-9s for a large part of the 1970s, but the Boeing 727-200 became part of the fleet toward the end of the decade when the government bought out Air Canada's share. Growth slowed in the 1980s. New routes were opened to Baltimore and Atlanta. Air Jamaica leased a Boeing 747-100 from Aer Lingus in the early 1980s. In 1983, Air Jamaica was operating non-stop Boeing 747-100 jumbo jet service between Kingston and London Heathrow Airport, with this flight continuing on from London to Frankfurt, Germany, and was also flying non-stop Airbus A300 service between Kingston and John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York City. In 1989, the Jamaican government announced plans for the privatization of the airline, which had been fully state-owned since Air Canada divested its 40% shareholding in 1980. However, it was not until May 1994 that a partial sell-off was announced when a group of Jamaican and Canadian investors known as the Air Jamaica Acquisition Group agreed to acquire a 70% share of the carrier for $26.5 million. Another 5% share was earmarked for employees. The government retained responsibility for liabilities, which were considerable. A merger of Air Jamaica with other Caribbean airlines was already being proposed, with British Airways invited to take a 25% holding in the venture. In the first stage, Air Jamaica was to have merged its operations with those of Trinidad and Tobago Airways, parent of BWIA. Guyana Airways Corporation and Leeward Islands Air Transport were to later join the venture. During the 1990s, Air Jamaica continued to expand. The airline took over the Kingston-Nassau, Bahamas route, which had been left by British Airways, began a code-sharing agreement with Delta Airlines and opened a route to Phoenix, which was later dropped, and to Frankfurt, London, Manchester, Santo Domingo, and Fort Lauderdale. The route to Phoenix was opened because Air Jamaica was looking to expand in the American West beyond its route to Los Angeles. In 1994, the company was partially privatized. The private investors were led by hotelier Gordon Butch Stewart, with the government retaining 25% of the company and giving 5% to the airline's employees. It continued operating Airbus jetliners, including the wide-body Airbus A340, and began a feeder service, a frequent flyer program, Seventh Heaven, and an in-flight magazine named Skywritings. In 1996, the airline was flying non-stop service between Kingston and London Heathrow Airport with an Airbus A310 jetliner. In 1999, Air Jamaica was operating non-stop service between Montego Bay and Los Angeles with Airbus A320 aircraft. If you are enjoying this video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, because your feedback is always important to us. In December 2004, after financial losses, the government of Jamaica resumed full ownership of Air Jamaica. It employed 2,522 people as of March 2007. By March 2010, Air Jamaica had net losses in 40 of its 42 years of existence and an accumulated deficit of approximately $1.54 billion. In 2007, the new Jamaican government began to consider privatization of Air Jamaica, seeking to remove an unsustainable venture from its balance sheet. In October 2007, Bruce Nobles, President and Chief Operational Officer of Air Jamaica from May 2002 to June 2003, was asked to return. He replaced William Rogers, who was interim president and CEO of the airline since the October 2007 resignation of CEO Michael Conway. On July 4, 2009, the Jamaica Gleaner reported that U.S.-based Spirit Airlines had reached an agreement with the Jamaican government to acquire the national airline on December 17, 2009. It was reported that the Prime Minister of Jamaica had recently approached the government of Trinidad and Tobago regarding a possible merger or acquisition by Caribbean Airlines. It was decided that Air Jamaica would cease to operate under Jamaican ownership and be primarily run by Caribbean Airlines until the transitional process was complete. Caribbean Airlines acquired the airline's fleet and route rights on May 1, 2010, and opened a new hub at Kingston's Norman Manley International Airport. The acquisition made Caribbean Airlines the largest airline in the Caribbean. On May 27, 2011, Jamaican Finance Minister Audley Shaw and Trinidadian Finance Minister Winston Dukern signed the shareholding agreement, making Caribbean Airlines the national airline of Jamaica with access to all routes operated by the former Air Jamaica. On July 1, 2011, all Air Jamaica and Caribbean Airlines' flights began operating under Caribbean Airlines. The airline operated scheduled services from Kingston and Montego Bay to 7 destinations in the Caribbean, Canada, and the United States. The airline's acquisition by Caribbean Airlines of Trinidad and Tobago was implemented on May 1, 2010. However, the current owners intended to keep the name Air Jamaica for as long as they were in possession of the company. The airline operated scheduled services from Kingston and Montego Bay to 7 destinations in the Caribbean, Canada, and the United States. The airline's acquisition by Caribbean Airlines of Trinidad and Tobago was implemented on May 1, 2010. However, the current owners intended to keep the name Air Jamaica for as long as they were in possession of the company. The airline officially reopened operations on May 1, 2010, upon acquisition by Caribbean Airlines Limited. The new airline was owned by Caribbean Airlines Limited, of which the government of Jamaica held 16% of shares. The acquisition by Caribbean Airlines also gave the company exclusive rights to the Air Jamaica name for 1 year, with options for annual renewal. On January 14, 2011, the Air Jamaica brand was relaunched at the Norman Manley International Airport with the unveiling of a new livery. The Boeing 737-800 aircraft, registered in Trinidad and Tobago, bore elements of Air Jamaica's original livery, along with alterations to align the corporate identity with Caribbean Airlines. Each aircraft will bear a sticker of Caribbean Airlines logo, along with both Jamaican and Trinbagonian national flags.
In summary, Jamaica has lost out on its flagship airline. Maybe one day in the future we can see Jamaica with its own airline once again. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. Also leave a comment and please share the video to your family and friends. Once again, thank you for choosing Jamaica Vibes Entertainment TV. Until the next video, please check out the other videos on the channel and have a safe and blessed day.